wanted this in a sense because they knew going into that okay, they might be forcing us to panic and decide to pick
Yeah.
our mage because maybe NXP might have prepared something for that, knowing that it's only most likely the Eudora or the Kagura left. But yep, very interesting draft from these two teams. Instinctual kill focused NXP versus by the playbook LPE. It's game number 1,
See
series
what you
1
did there.
of game 2 the MPL.
Of course, this is MPL Philippines Season 7. We are under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board.
And it is going to be an amusing game that we have here. As now you see an aggressive wave cut here by Ryota and Bimo. That's a lot of damage onto Ryota right now. That's a lot of weaknesses exposed onto the Esmeralda, but Esmeralda will be able to get away. You see here the positioning of Bimo and Yaoi. Really, that's just their job right now. Find the opening, get the information, stay by the bushes. Even if you're going to take a lot of damage, at least you're baiting out some skills.
And H2O, great burst on the Arbs though. It's funny how LP is acting here, man. They're acting like they're an early game lineup, but they're not really.
Nope.
They're just trying to flex out. They're trying to show NXP that they're not really scared, but they kind of are.
Yeah, I like this.
I'm
the
sure.
LPE are deciding to go with the flow here. And look at that, Jake the Dog already level 3. Meanwhile, Ryota, again, is going to be forced to go back, but I think he should just stay there to really just get a little bit more experience. As Lancy,
Jake the Dog,
JTD taking a lot of damage, Uranus able to get away. And now we're seeing the power of this pick as to why a lot of teams, especially in MPL and Indonesia, are prioritizing that. That's just really good sustain, and you got to disrupt really, really well.
It's funny because you also the lane predictions are also right on the docket. We have a what do you call that? We have Esmeralda, of course, on the gold lane. Again, you got Jake the Dog on the XP lane, and he is just doing what Uranus is supposed to do, which is, of course, manage the early game lanes. Maybe going to jungle might be overstepping it. That he should have gone down there. Should have died there on that invade. Luckily, he didn't. For some miraculous reason, 3v1. But then again, that is just a calculated risk. Somehow it did pay off for LPE here. They got some good vision. They got some good information. At least they know where NXP is going from there.
And so now you're seeing here a different story between two lanes, because on the top side with Ryota is getting really put in a tough situation here because he has to decide now at one point to give up lane control to go back or to stay in lane to really just hold that down, because he can't let the 1-1 freely farm. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, because of the aggression that you pointed out that JTD brought out, he even went for a third tower lane cut. That's how deep he went to the back lines there of NXP.
Exactly.
He has a little bit more control there.
And again, because of that, Bimo on the top side of the map is able to... he knows what to do, because he knows a lot of people are down on bot lane. And again, we still have Aspect farming up really hard here. James behind enemy lines here.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage from the Claude,
Nice
but he'll
catch.
be able to go away. Look at that. James is really low. H2O trying to protect James. James will be able to get away here as Jake the Dog still keeping up the aggression. Doesn't want to give up this fight, but no, H2O might be the one going down here. It turns around, going to the tower, finds the safety of it. H2O secures the first kill there onto JTD's Uranus. Meanwhile, Bimo could be up next, gets a stun, and gets taken down by NXP. That's a 2-0. Hot start here for NXP and possibly even the first turtle.
And a kill and assist on H2O. That is huge, Reptar. Cannot believe what is happening here. LPE kind of misplayed there on the bot side. Maybe bit off more they can chew.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because that should have been at least an even footing, but that was all for NXP.
And we saw just now there the effect of the changes onto the turrets where the damage, consecutive target damages on the same target from the turret hurt much more. I feel like if this was their previous patch, JTD might have been able to survive that, but no, he wasn't able to, so he gets taken out here. But yeah, so far, because of the lineup of NXP, we did mention it earlier, NXP might have the better control here in the early game, getting the kills first. Now, and LPE will have to crawl themselves back. It's not too much of a lead,
right?
though. Like,
not
they're
too
still
big.
in it.
But then again, we're talking about Roger here, man, who just excels in the early to mid-game skirmishes. And when he gets those kills, he gets the assists, he gets the goal, it's very difficult to stop this guy, especially with the lineup that LP has. Very much lacking in hard crowd control.
Yeah, and that's a lot of crowd control, though, onto JTD. already forced to use the consecration just to regen back up and avoid going down. So he's still holding down that lane. The mobility that you mentioned earlier that NXP just has so much of, LP's having a little bit of a hard time catching up to it. And little by little, we're starting to see a little bit of cracks in their armor of holding down the lanes because NXP, they're just everywhere in the map right now.
That's right. And H2O, he's been basically, what do you call this? What's the word I'm looking for? He's been saturated.
Yeah.
Oh, you see what I did there? He's been saturated with gold and experience. Everywhere he walks, he's getting a little bit of a pie, a little piece of the pie here, and it's working out so well for these guys. I don't feel any pressure at all on the NXP side. Meanwhile, on the LPE side of things, things are getting a little bit tricky. And it's only bound to get trickier from here on out.
Yeah, and LPE have to find a way to adjust their approach to this game right now because both of these teams have really just been trying to play it out from the side lanes. All the action that we've been seeing so far has been on the side lanes. Someone goes for a gank onto the bottom, and then there's going to be a counter gank. Same thing could happen also onto the top lane. So now LPE are sort of trying to play the same game as NXP, but then NXP has the better lineup for this, but Ryota has other plans here as he uses the Falling Star Moon onto Renijay. Renijay able to get away. BMO a little bit too late to the party along with Arvs. So LPE are just a bit of a step behind here in terms of the rotations again because they're not as mobile as NXP.
Yeah, just not as mobile, but we are going to see a bit of a big engage here. BMO, great engagement. They get land C.
Ooh,
and no resistance at all.
Yeah, no resistance. Gets bursted down.
Weird.
That's a small win that LPE needs here. Now, one thing that we mentioned is that Aspect need not die, and he hasn't gone down yet, as well as H2O. Maybe by the 8th minute or so, do you see Aspect finally having enough items and damage, or will he still need much more time to deal the damage that LPE needs?
Yeah, I feel like Aspect is just taking a lot. If he can get this turtle, yes. But if not, man, there's going to be a bit of an uphill climb still. Great pickup there by LPE, by the way, while that was happening.
Yeah, decided to amp up the aggression.
No way!
Away by H2O! The counter is here by LPE. They're going to try to make something out of this, but no, because of the turtle steal from H2O, those are kills for NXP, an objective for NXP, and a bad time coming here for LPE.
This guy's a god.
Yep.
What was that? Look at this one. There was a shore turtle that went over sideways with just this guy, literally like a boss standing on the side, waiting for the perfect opportunity. No one was going near him. What is this?
H2O, man, hungry like a wolf right now for main objectives. We were saying earlier, NXP, instinctual, kill focus. We're still seeing that, but we're also seeing a little bit more of by the playbook style from NXP, putting a little bit more focus onto the objectives here. Look at them already invading for the purple side, and I think that was stolen. Yes, it was.
Everything.
By H2O. Aspect is having a bad time here. He only has 1 assist and no buzz. This is going to be a fight by LPE. They're going to go for it, but look at that. BMO going straight for H2O. H2O cannot get close, and H2O gets bursted down there by the Eudora. Lancy could be up next. Kagura on the run. The girl with the umbrella. It's raining on you. Able to get away is Lancy. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but it's the carry that goes down on the side of NXP.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about here. LPE definitely is on high pressure alert, but in the end, they are aware that they should be. This is the expected turnout of their lineup. As I said before, you gotta hunker down here because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But they are doing it in a step in the right direction. They took care of H2O, who has been running unchecked all over the map for the last 6 minutes of the game, and finally got some control on their side.
Yeah, LPE starting to realize, okay, we need to amp up our tempo a bit now. We can't just follow to the tune of NXP's music here. We have to make our own songs, and so far, there's little by little clawing back into this. Just a 1K gold lead now here for NXP. Towers are tied up, but this is going to be bad news for LPE. They decide to trade the turtle for the tower. Is this the right call?
No, man, because they are going to go for James, which is buying so much time anyway before that bottom lane turret won't go down, and it's gonna have to be a big fight here.
The final blow gets brought out there. NXP look for the counter. That's going to be 1 kill for NXP. Aspect could be up next. That's 2 down on the side of LPE and NXP. The counter play is real. A shutdown there for H2O as Land C spots out Jake the Dog, and it's only JTD and Ryota left here. Great call there by NXP, and you said it best. James just bought so much time for NXP to go for the counter.
Yep, and then H2O still got some good amount of damage output here with the Lycan Pounds finishing it up. Tower is going to be an easy target, might be too. We'll have to find out.
Will they go for it? No, they decide to ease it up a bit. They decide, you know what, LPE are back. They're off their respawn, so maybe we shouldn't take this fight. LPE now, though, what do you think the recipe should be for them to make a comeback here?
I know, just make some forward advances to give our Aspect some space. But it's just so difficult, man. At the same time, James is just unchecked on the field as well. They've been focusing so much on H2O now in the past few minutes that they're forgetting the other members, such as the Wan and Renegade, just making such short work of towers here.
And I think LPE wanted to trade that bottom first tier for that top first tier to break down NXP, but then Jake the Dog, I think, seems like he was the one who called for it, that this could be really bad, but NXP decided to ease up the pressure on that bottom tower. They forced LPE to just react to basically nothing.
Yeah, they seem to be getting played each and every time around the map. It's like NXP is willing to trade, but not really. They're just gonna take stuff.
Yeah.
And LPE is not getting anything in return.
They can't be too reactive right now to NXP. And something that our panel, Butters and Naomi, mentioned earlier is that teams in the MPL have that factor of aggression against NXP, but the aggression right now is getting brought out by LPE as they take down Yaoi. No main tank here. Aspect taking a lot of damage. He's forced to BMI back.
Whoa.
He has his orange buff. That was way too close.
Way too close for comfort. There was also a possibility that the Lycan Pounds would have carried over to him.
Yeah, all the way
the way back to the BMI, but luckily for him it didn't, but could have been.
And JTD now, let's see if the weaknesses are spotted. Renegade just waiting for the right time to use that ultimate, but look at that, Uranus just eating up all the damage. Renegade is dishing out. Here comes the ultimate, but it's not enough. Renegade did his absolute best.
Okay.
But Jake the Dog says, you know what, I'm gonna hold it down.
I'm gonna hold it down. Some really slick moves there as well from Renegade. I really like it, and NXP is just playing with no pressure. You can feel it, right? Like, they're just doing anything they want to do on the map. They're doing some risky moves, but they're not getting punished at all.
And Bimo spots out Yaoi. That's going to be 1 versus 1 between the two tanks here, and both teams back off. That thing you mentioned about NXP being a little bit more, not carefree, but more relaxed in a way.
Yeah.
Not overly pressured. That's the type of coaching Dogie wanted to have for his team, to not... It's like he told them, don't overthink the
chill,
game.
right.
Just trust in yourselves. And you're starting to see it. NXP are trusting themselves individually, and they're just firing from every cylinder. Like, the chemistry is really there for them.
Yeah, and I would say that instinct-based gameplay, it works out here, where LPE doesn't seem to be... There's only one thing that they have in their minds. The only thing in their minds is that we gotta draw this out.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, guys. Just don't die. Don't give kills to H2O, and just give Aspect farm. It's working out. The instinct play is working out against that. But then again, they just need time here. What's the timer that you're thinking here? Because there should be something that we have to look at. If Execration has 18 minutes.
Well, I feel like if Claude doesn't have the right items yet by the 15th minute, you could spell the end for them within the next 3 after that. But
so we won't even reach 18 minutes.
Yeah, we won't reach 18 minutes. Or at max, it's going to be 18 here.
Yeah, if Aspect doesn't get the items.
If he doesn't get the items. But if Aspect gets his items, we could be here for a long time, man. We could be here for a long time.
Man, I'm actually very excited to see what the items for Aspect will... Can we request for an item check when we get back in? Because right now, that's all that matters. And putting all the eggs in one basket, I think, is working out very badly for LPE right now. It's their draft, it's their win condition, and they're losing out slowly.
But what I like about LPE is they're not playing this too defensively. As you get the item check there, he only has the Demon Hunter
Oh,
sword.
okay, thank you.
Still on the way to the Golden Staff. Only the Raptor Machete and the DHS for him. Meanwhile, look at that. Already 8.2k here.
Oh my
For
god.
H2 already has the
Jeez.
endless battle of the Wind
Wrote to
Talker.
4 items already.
Yeah.
He's going 5 items.
Okay, so
And,
I guess you can say it's 4 minutes away, maybe, until LPE if Aspect. Okay, Aspect at least finally got the Golden Staff.
I'm getting your timer on right now. 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. And we'll have to wait and see if they kind of agree with us, because if we get to the DHS Golden Staff, there's going to be some damage at least for Aspect. Maybe they can try to go for something. But for the meantime, it doesn't look like there's anything happening for LPE. And H2O is so confident he's even dancing around with the Lord already.
Yeah, just going for the free hits. BMO, not sure if he knows Yawi and James are there. Ooh, what a flame shot already bursting down Arps. Arps is going to be forced to go back. What a play by NXP. They smelled blood and went for the dive all the way to that purple buff, taking out Arps. That's a lot of damage gone. Now, on the side of LPE as NXP with the Enhanced Lord are going to be going for this. Jake the Dog and BMO trying to buy time here as Ryota is coming from the middle, but I don't think that's going to be enough time to turn it around. Look at that, NXP fighting it out. JTD gets mega killed there by 1-1. Renegade 4-0 and 4 right now as NXP will get this Enhanced Lord. Of course, all of that started by that beautiful pickoff there by NXP.
Yeah, the guy who's supposed to do the bursting just got bursted for LPE. Eudora taken out in a blink of an eye, which resulted in a very good team fight there for NXP, reaping so many rewards. I don't know, LPE is going to start to lose towers here very soon, especially with the push on the Lord. If they don't deal with the Lord, this is going to be a G push. At the same time, I think NXP, what they can do, and try to go for a mid lane push, just like a Lord, like go for a Death Ball.
Yeah.
And there's very little that LPE can do about it.
Yeah, most likely though, guess what you're trying to say here is that LPE will just lose a lot no matter what.
Yeah, it's a free lane push instead. So good luck to LPE, man. Game 1 starting to look like it's going to go out of the ballpark.
Yeah, as LPE desperately are going to try to defend this. There's action in the bottom lane as Jake the Dog takes a lot of damage. Right now, he's really just a sponge for the damage that NXP is bringing out, but LPE doesn't have enough damage to dish out. That is the equivalent of what damage is getting done to JTD. Look at that. Yeah, he's already deep in. That Lord is about to go down. Ryota takes a lot of damage. Ultimates already have been committed. Here comes the Blazing Duet. James could be up next, but no! The Winter Truncheon keeps him alive, and James able to get away. Aspect gets bursted down. That really did look like a great play by Aspect, but that was just an even greater response defensively by NXP.
And the moment Aspect went down, LPE's defense starting to look a lot less solid here. We're coming in, Yawi with the plays.
Oh no, look at that. The ultimate already popped by
Big
BMO.
miss.
Jake the Dog gets taken out, but that's going to be a return kill there by Arbs. James going straight to the back there. Let's see if he'll be able to make something out of this, or I think he'll just disrupt this out. And yeah, you said it, Ragar. They lost a lot here. It's only that middle inhibitor left. Both side lane inhibitors have been broken.
And I don't know how long LPE can hold on for. And they're definitely respecting the timer that you gave them. Items-wise, LPE is not going to have enough to go for a big fight. So they are going to have to stay around the mid lane, stay around the base. They're running out of time here. How well off is H2O right now? 5-1 and 4 on Roger. Renegade as well, not even suffering any deaths from the laning, from the mid lane, mid-game.
Yeah, and I like what we're seeing here. It's the 3 members of NXP that got retained, leading the way for the new blood of James and Lancey, where H2O, Renegade, and Yawi are saying, we've been here before, this isn't our first MPL, we'll show you how it's done. And they're setting a great example for their teammates.
Yep, I really like the Tank Benedetta by Yawi as well, man. A lot of people were saying he's stuck with Kufra last season. Right now, though, he's making a statement that he's going to be able to make some stuff work with other heroes as well.
And it worked really, really well in this game. As NXP, you see them positioning themselves in a way where they're just trying to see if anyone from LPE will overstep by just a little bit, get a pick off. From that one pick off, if they didn't commit too much, they could go for the GG push. But then LPE aren't showing that, so NXP, we're really just waiting for the next Lord here. And this Lord push could be the final one to win it for NXP unless somehow LPE find a way to surprise us all and just reverse it on the top of the heads of NXP.
Honestly, I'm actually surprised right now. You know why? Usually NXP would play for kills each and every turn of game. They're becoming a lot more reserved. They're becoming a lot more calculated now. They're not going for anything. Like, you would expect them after a big advantage to go fight again. But no, they're waiting for the Lord. They are controlling the waves. We did not see this level of discipline from these guys in the previous season.
Yeah, in the previous season, you could honestly say
Fight, fight, fight.
yeah, fight. You were watching kids who are just really great at ML playing the MPL, but now this time they really learned a lot from their first season, and
Yeah.
you could see it here. You pointed it out. Let's see though if they can get this Lord, as LPE are gonna look to try to contest this. Nope, actually no, they won't be able to.
A lot more reserved.
Yeah, based on the health of the Lord, they will not be able to.
I don't think they will be able
Yeah.
to. Plus, not to mention, our aspects starting to get into the groove here. At least I think he's on the road to 4 or 5 items already as well. So there's going to be some damage on that Blazing Duet, and NXP, they're aware. Which is very funny because now they don't want to go head to head right away. They're going for the big objectives, and it is a very good look for NXP.
Yeah, James's position here on the Alice is going to be crucial if ever they get into a situation where it looks good for Aspect to come in with the Blazing Duet. Then James is going to be sort of like it's the bait, because when you see the Alice and you see Alice nearby to the other teammates, you're going to think I'm going to jump this because I could burn down this Alice, but then he has that Winter Truncheon.
Yeah, and to be honest, for their first time in the MPL, for their first time, Lancey and James, not bad.
Yeah.
You know, they're adding value to their team despite the obviously lower gold net worth. They are doing the jobs, baiting out the skills, making sure that the skills are not available to go into H2O.
Yes,
Making
exactly.
enabling H2O to make the plays indirectly.
And that's something that you really like to see in new players coming into the MPL. That idea that you're given a role, you're given a job to do, and you just do it. Even if you're not, look at that, James isn't even on the kill board that much.
Yeah.
He's 0, 2, and 3. But we felt the effects
The
recently
presence
with this
is
Alice.
there.
Yeah, the presence is there.
Exactly, he's doing some good damage, and I think he's just giving the kills over to H2O. I don't know. I haven't really seen a big fight for like 4 minutes now, which is might be a record for NXP already. But we'll have to double check later. But again, they are doing the right things to do here. Waiting for the Lord. It's gonna go on top side. Surprisingly, mid is still pretty much LPE controlled as well. We'll see.
Yeah, and what hurts here for LPE, if you were able to catch that on your screens, is that Aspect is only about to hit 10K in his gold. And we're already getting close to the 18-minute mark of the game. It just goes to show how much he
Yeah.
was suffocated out of his own jungle, and this could be the GG push.
Just for contrast, that's the lowest gold on the side of NXP. Highest gold in LPE, lowest gold in NXP.
And that really hurts, and let's see how much is this going to hurt. Can they defend this? Can they hold on? As all the ultimates, all the skills have been dished out. The setup by James with the Blood Ode, and look at that, NXP, it was, and it is, the final GG push, securing the first game victory.
And I gotta say, that is how you go and play. And again, I'm very happy to see this from NXP.
Yeah, NXP, great showing from them. LPE.
The slow of real-world manipulation actually is something that's very deadly on the team fight. It will allow this Yuzhong to really
Exactly.
prosper as well. So let's load up into the game, and we'll see what happens here as we head into Game 2 for LPE versus NXP.
Lance C, all eyes are on you, because you are going to be one of the key heroes here for your team. If you can get the slows right on time. As long as you can get that Ice Queen wand as quickly as you can, LPE are going to have a hard time dancing around all the possible setups that NXP will have. They have the Blood Ode from the Alice. They have the Implosion from the Tigreal. They have to be really careful here of those slows coming out from the Eve.
There you go. This is what you're talking about, man. Great dive in H2O. Whoa, this
Whoa.
guy's mad! But gives the kill over to Lancey instead. It's a trade, but I think it's kind of a step in the right direction here for LPE, I think.
Yeah.
Just answer.
Yeah.
No need to do anything crazy.
Exactly, like he already got taken out. It's actually a kill that sort of like negates itself, but then you get a little bit of gold because of the first blood gold going on over to the NXP.
Yeah.
The first blood got registered to NXP before LPE, so instead of it becoming a bad trade, it still relatively worked out for the side of NXP. Still a slow start, not a lot of developments just yet, but any other observations about the lineups that we have here?
I just want to say H2O is a little mad though. I feel like there's just so much that could have been avoided there. H2O would have had a lot of farm time afterwards. So I don't know. I feel like there should be more that they didn't need to tower dive that hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for something else that could have been like an alternate there. Maybe, just leave it to the pro. Leave it to the mage to pick up the kill.
Yeah.
I mean, he was low anyway, so after the Lycan pounce, he could have just backed off.
Yeah, because that still would have given control
That's
for
still
your
a
mage.
kill. Yeah, because I think Lancey had the skills to do it. I don't know. Just having a lot of fun here, NXP, as usual.
Yeah. Oh well. They still have a really small gold lead here as the first turtle of the game is going to get up soon. Or is the counter just stuck there at 1? Oh well, yeah, we'll see if the turtle's gonna spawn.
Probably visual, but
Not
probably
yet.
yeah. It's still 2 minutes, right? Spawns in 2 minutes, so
Still 2 minutes. I got overexcited there. I got too excited. I got too excited for the turtle. I don't know. I think I'm already just looking for a fight to happen.
I know. I feel like the game just went spiked up in terms of speed. It feels like it's sped up because of that early first blood. But otherwise, we are still on control here. H2O with Lancey. What a great combo. Great synergy between these two players so far.
And now the turtle finally spawns. Lancey already level 4 here. So is Arb. So we'll have the mage ultimates up for the two teams if they want it. LPE are nearby for this turtle contest. If they're going to go for it, BMO and Aspect versus Yaoi and H2O. Who's going to win this 2 vs 2 tag team match? But no surprise, here comes James and the dragon with a black dragon form, making that the green dragon form. Look at that, the knockup and the damage onto BMO. He gets taken out, and LPE don't get the first turtle as that goes to NXP. They give away another kill to NXP as well. So similar start to game number 1.
Yeah, a big shame as well that there was not much LPE could do at that point. NXP basically multitasked it. You guys go for a fight, we'll go for a turtle, and they get rewards, no punishment at all for LPE, which is super surprising. I feel like they have a plan, but they're not really executing here.
Yeah, good call there by Yaoi too. Instead of a lot of tanks, I wouldn't say a lot of tanks, but tanks would sometimes instinctually go, okay, since James is already going forward, I'm going to stay here with H2O to protect him just in case the Benedetta rotates in. But no, Yaoi said, you know what, that looks like a sure kill, and then the knock up there with the Sacred Hammer or with the second skill really helped secure that for NXP. So I like that slight adjustment that Yaoi did.
Yeah, and again, Yaoi is also a very well-improved player from the previous season. Some people would criticize his gameplay if he's not on Kufra. If he's on Kufra, great. If he's not, usually he gets a lot of flack. This time around, he is playing very well on a variety of heroes, surprisingly.
Renjay, see, I think he got a bit of a whiff that there might be a rotation onto him, but there is definitely a rotation on the top side. H2O, not this time again. He won't get taken out by the turret. Decides to get out. Renjay taking a lot of damage from JTD and Arbs. Arbs with the meteor shower, last second flicker, able to get out of that. Yaoi though is gonna spot out the Chango and secures the kill thanks to Eve with a real world manipulation from Lance C.
Picture perfect as it can get there. Yaoi basically enabled Lancey to get everything he wanted from that trade. Now James as well, go for dive on Aspect. Could be bad here.
Oh wow, great entry there by BMO with the interception using the Cometic Lance securing the stun there. That is still going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Oh, wait, no, it was Aspect that went down the bottom lane. But yeah, good call there by Bimo to help out his teammate there in the mid. But this looks like it could be another turtle for NXP.
Bimo doesn't know.
Yeah, Bimo doesn't know. Arbs is there though for the assist. That's going to be the turtle going over to H2O and a turtle to NXP. And another kill for NXP as Bimo goes down. Yeah, we could be up next though, but he's trying to get away from that Chang. Meanwhile, H2O so close, yet so far for LPE to secure a kill onto the carry. But they say, you know what? At least we get to secure a kill on their tank, Yaoi.
Again, that is one for the books here. Turret will go down here in the mid lane for sure. Not much that NXP can do against that. They already used up a lot of their skills, and H2O is quite low. So overall, I feel like NXP, they are finding the groove, but at the same time, LPE, they're a lot better compared to Game 1 here at this point.
Yeah, exactly. In this situation, the LPE are fighting back a little bit more. You see them not relying too much on the fact that they have a late game lineup idea. And one thing that we have to give focus here is for Lancy. Hot start, already 3-0-2 on an Eve. This is going to make objective takes even harder.
And when you have an Eve that already has those items, like the Clock Destiny, Winter Truncheon probably going to be locked in here soon, Holy Crystal, the sooner you get those items, especially the Ice Cream one, right? The slows that we're talking about here, it is just going to give H2O so much room to play around. I think that's going to be the point. Faster real-world manipulations means better fights for H2O.
Yeah, and it's going to be... Lancy can actually play this out a bit for him. Now that he was able to get kills really early, that means he gets the gold early. That means he doesn't need to think too much about being a utility mage. He can go for a damage item even if he wants to, because of the lead they were able to build up for himself. So either the Ice Queen one or the Clock of Destiny that you mentioned could be good first pickups here. It's just going to be really up to him, but he does go for the Ice Queen wand, and it seems like he is going to go for utility because that looks like a glowing wand that's going to be up next to him.
Yeah, that's going to be such a big deal here in this coming, especially coming team fights where Ryota's not doing as much as he should, Bimo's not as tanky as he should be, and Aspect basically just needs more time to farm again. So, I don't know, this game too is starting to run in a better direction, at least for LPE, but still pretty bad.
Yeah, they're still behind here, but that's going to be Yaoi that they're going to spot here. They decide to throw everything. They say, you know what, we need a little bit more kills, we need a little bit more gold, let's take out the tank. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, JTD avoids damage, and that's someone that we haven't seen here. JTD is just lane locked right now because he needs to farm on that Harith.
Yeah, and surprisingly as well, because usually Jake the Dog's the guy that really is, he aggresses early on, so we're missing a lot of that recently. In the qualifiers, this is also the major problem he's been having.
Yeah, and James now has a problem because he's eating a meteor shower in the face, already forced to use the Black Dragon form. Lancy pass out Ryota, but Yaoi's nearby here, and Ryota, good call to not go for that, but this is going to be another turtle take. Can it finally go to the side of LPE? Real world manipulation goes out, and that is the turtle finally going to the side of LPE, but Ryota gets taken out. NXP, let's see if they're going to go for the chase, go for more kills. Aspect is really, really low. H2O, can he get close, but he gets stunned by Bimo. Bimo once again with the Comedic Lance interception in the back lane. Here comes the aggression, and here comes Jake the Dog. Gets a secure kill there onto Lancy, and a double kill right there onto H2O. That is an LPE turnaround and an LPE wake-up call for themselves, saying, you know what, oh man, we've been behind way too much. It's time to take control of this game.
Yep, just when it looked like Jake the Dog looked like he was being neutered, he comes swinging very strong with the intercept. And before that, actually, Aspect also picked up the turtle, which was a big denial for H2O on the Rogers. So definitely a step in the right direction here for LPE. Finally, they have a bit of a goal lead over NXP.
My MVP for that, though, is definitely Bimo. That Comedic Lance in the last second, because we saw H2O smelling blood. We're just getting into that range of that Lycan pounds, but he was just stopped by Bimo, showing us why he is one of the tanks that you have to watch out for this season.
Yeah, imagine if that was just 1.5 seconds late. That would have been the Lycan pound straight into the death of his teammate, and apparently BMO is able to just really time it correctly. Big team fight happening here on side.
Yeah, Meteor Shower laid out and killing spree now for JTD now with his third kill. He's definitely woken up now. He picked up the Holy Crystal earlier. Now a Blade of Despair has been picked up here by Aspect. So if NXP is not careful, if another pick off that could possibly happen here happens, then that's even more control now for LPE.
Yeah, finally Aspect is in more of a rhythm, plays safe on this side, lets the team go for more of the engages, and he just does some damage on the back foot. That's exactly where he is, apparently. That's where he's more comfortable now.
And another Holy Crystal which is picked up now, this time by Arv, so that's a lot of magic damage getting dished out here for LPE. They're gonna go for the turret. Let's see if NXP will try to defend, and no, they can't. They have to play this conservatively, but Yaoi overstepped. BMO immediately using the Imperial Justice, securing a kill onto Yaoi, and NXP are starting to lose their momentum here, and they're starting to get scattered in terms of how they're moving around the map.
Man, right now I feel like BMO has more of a control of what his teammates are doing, and just as I said, that might be a problem. Forces to flicker out. Misplay and forcing real-world manipulation is actually a big deal. That's gonna be able to stop at least one more team fight from NXP in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, and because of what you mentioned, NXP might not be able to contest this this Lord already as well as they like. But LPE decided they can't overcommit onto this just yet. They have the Benedetta, Ryota in the bottom lane, managing the waves well. So that's something NXP has to be careful of, because they're going to force back Renegade to defend.
Yep, I don't know. This is going to be a disjointed fight if NXP wants to go for it.
Exactly.
Everyone is in very different locations. Very unideal to go for the fight, but have to go for it.
Yeah, they are going for it. Renegade doesn't go to the bottom lane, so a fight breaks out 5 versus 5 here by the Lord. Mountain Shocker already used BMO, really low force to go back, and with that, NXP might just take control of this Lord actually. But look at that, Yaoi over there close to BMO. Here comes H2O with the finish, but H2O cannot get close. Jake the Dog and Arms with the turnaround, getting a kill onto H2O. You thought you could get that like a bounce. No, you're gonna get taken out as well as Lance C. So that's 2 down on the side of NXP.
That was huge from Arms and Jake the Dog.
Wow.
The last 2 pick mages finally making a mark, and Renegade has to just hold on the mid lane, but might get picked up as well.
Chromatic lands on fire for BMO, and the mages have woken up. 4-2 and 5 here for Arvs. A Meteor Shower for Yaoi. 3-0-2 for Jake the Dog, and maybe BMO says this looks yummy as Yaoi can't get out of the Imperial Justice. He gets taken out. Another kill for LPE, and the Eagles are flying.
They are indeed. Aspect should have an easy fight here without Yaoi. Now let's see if there's gonna be a steal happening here.
Oh!
It does happen! Oh, I can't believe it.
A steal! A Lord
Unbelievable!
Steal! H2O! NXP right at the end of the manipulation from Eve. LPE was just zoned out just by a moment, just by a little bit, and H2O, bang, with the Lord Steal.
Man, I'm sorry, I went crazy there for a little bit. I don't know how that happened. We'll definitely want replays of that. Hopefully we can, but I don't know. H2O, he's compensating for his team's position with just pure raw mechanics. I didn't even know that was possible at that point. But again, Lycan Pounce with the Retribution is a very deadly combo. Takes out Turtle, takes out Lords very easily. Now, Big team fight coming up here.
Mountain Shocker already used. H2O really low. Malaikan pounds to avoid the damage, but Bimo goes down. H2O and Yaoi go down. NXP are falling down. That's 3 down for them. Mega kill for Jake the Dog. And Jake the Dog says only one of us can be the Alpha Wolf here. And it's going to be me. 4-0-5. Yeah, put the camera on that man. He deserves the highlight.
Yeah, he really does, man. I mean, that should have been a pretty good fight for NXP, but again, they did kind of fight in a very awkward position over the wall for some of their members.
Oh, Renegade entry though,
Aspect.
with the flowing blood and the blood ore, but the turnaround is here for Ryota and Jake the Dog. JTD is just dancing around them now. This Harith has been farmed up really, really well. He looks like the main core of this team right now, not Aspect. Aspect's more of a, he's just there for the assist. He's 2-2-10 right now. It's Jake the Dog making the plays and keeping LPE alive here, as well as, actually it's not just him, the entire team is finally firing off of all cylinders now.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the case here. Aspect more for vision. You don't even need that. He did for the team fight. And Yaoi has to flicker out of there. That's a big thing. That's a pretty big deal. A flicker out of a Tigreal basically just neuters them in the coming team fight.
Yeah, you lose a possibility for a surprise setup with that combo, but now 100 seconds until this Lord spawns. What do you think is the better play here for LPE? Try to go for a pick-off and then end it, or just wait for the Lord?
I feel like what they should do is try to slow down the buffs that's coming in here for NXP. They do have the tools to do it. They cleared out their own as well. Jake the Dog is definitely in prime position to go for a team fight anytime soon. And they're just waiting for BMO's call here at this point, right? If BMO can pick up someone with Imperial Justice, that should be a dead guy. But so far, NXP are also playing very, very cautiously in this game.
Yeah, we've seen that they have the capability and the right tools as well to go for that counter engage. And if LPE aren't careful here, it seems like they're really just waiting for this Lord. They're managing the waves. They need to be careful to not get the Lord stolen from them again.
Oh my god, please.
If that happens again, that'll hurt.
My mind is gonna explode if that happens again, man. And I feel like there's just so much that NXP can... there's so much they can lose here in the coming team fights. If they force a fight, they're gonna have to deal with a divine glazed up Chang'e with Jake the Dog fully buffed up as well.
One wrong move by LPE and NXP could quite possibly go for that surprise reverse win. Meanwhile, one wrong move from NXP and you can write it on the wall that this is going to be a 1-1. 20 seconds until this Lord spawns. Who do we have to watch out for here from NXP to turn it around for their team? But wait, hold that thought. No, Ryota will be able to go away. They got zoned out here.
Yeah, you gotta chill out, man. Because for the meantime, H2O did just complete his Blade of Despair, so the coming team fight should be a little bit better for NXP if they're gonna have to rely on the damage from H2O. But the Lord is definitely better placed for LPE this time around.
NXP, watch out for the Roger. LPE, I guess we gotta watch out here for BMO. You set it up
sure.
earlier. That pickoff, one good pickoff by him, and it's gonna be bad news for NXP. It's gonna be a 4 versus 4 clash here. Oh! Lancey gets bursted down. That's good control here for LPE by this Lord Pit. But here comes Yaoi, here comes Renegade a little bit too early with the Blood Out, and Renegade taking a lot of damage, and Renegade gets taken out. But H2O able to secure a kill. H2O is fighting. H2O is fighting. But look at Jake the Dog. There's a double kill for H2O. Look at this guy. 1 versus 1, 2 versus 1, triple kill for H2O, but in the end, it's Jake the Dog and Ryota standing tall here, but because of H2O's heroics, it's a 2-on-2 fight right now. LPE do not have the tools to end it. Wow!
The H2O show, as per usual, even on the back foot, they are still able to really pack a punch.
Yeah!
My gosh.
If H2O didn't do that...
Literal hard carry. Solo hard carry.
Carry, man. He's like,
oh my
god. I got you. I'm going to go down. But if I don't do this... Oh, man. Again, let's look at how that team fight broke out. Renegade, good setup there with a Blood Ode and using the Winter Truncheon to survive. But all of that, you think that was just all for... Renegade? No. It's all for H2O to clean up house.
Yeah, look at them. Target priority for H2O, knowing that if he goes for the nearest member, he's probably dead. He goes for the softest one. And again, there you go. You got to go and make a run for it. This guy is just unstoppable when he gets going. Forces a chase onto a Benedetta. Who does that? How many heroes can keep up with a Benedetta over walls? Unbelievable.
If it's gonna be anyone, it's gonna be the one that can transform into a wolf and to a human. Great use of the abilities, timing it, so that when Ryota decides to dash through walls,
Yep.
gets to heal up, the patience that H2O, we're seeing here, the panelists said it earlier, H2O, and a lot of the teams say that H2O has one of the highest potential in this league to be the best carry, and we're seeing glimpses of that. This game, despite the broken towers here for NXP, well, I'm sorry, I have to correct myself. Or almost correct myself, because I was about to say this game is much closer than we think, but LPE have the Lord marching in, and
Yeah.
only this looks really bad for NXP.
This should be easily taken out because Ryota is not really on the field yet, but it's going to be difficult. Lord should go down soon with the amount of damage. Ren J could go for the engage.
Yeah, and Jake the Dog going after Renegade, but no, Jake the Dog's gonna get caught out here. Oh, will be able to get away. Immortality gets popped. He's trying to run. That's gonna be Jake down. Arms down. This is really bad for LPE. They're getting chased out. That's gonna be another one down if Aspect can't get away. Ryota and Bimo trying to hold on to Aspect. H2O goes down. Look at that. Bimo and Ryota holding on to keep Aspect alive, but Renegade takes out Aspect. The Immobilize is there. Bimo and Ryota will not continue this fight. This fight will not end. This game will not end.
Absolutely not. NXP holding on for dear life here. We'll see a replay of that where we see this could have been so bad, but so far Aspect did maneuver in the right direction, able to life steal back up, so almost half, enables him to take down H2O and opens up the playing field here for the rest of LPE to control and not get overrun by NXP.
Wow, we have ourselves a game, folks. This is only Series 1 of the day. LPE and NXP, the statement game for both of these two teams. Who is going to have a better debut in MPL Season 7 Philippines? LPE, NXP, while LPE are looking for that 1-1 victory so that they can force a Game 3. NXP are playing their hearts out to stop that and win this 2-0.
Yeah, and itemizations are going to not matter so much here. Everyone's starting to get into the groove. And we do see Yaoi get picked up here. Immortality will be popped.
And this could be really bad for NXP. They lose their main tank, James, Lancy, H2O, Renegade. Can they turn this around? Can they somehow survive this and fight it out to make this a 2-0 win? Aspect gets chased out, gets separated from the rest of the group, while Lancy gets taken out by the Benedetta. 5 members of LPE are still alive, while the Immortality gets popped on Bimo, who's trying to hold on for Aspect to deal damage. But here comes JTD. Bang! Right onto H2O. Secures the kill. James versus Aspect. James secures it there with the execute. Renegade is in the bottom lane. Arbs and Ryota are nearby. It's just
2v4.
James and Renegade. 3 versus 2. NXP, can they hold on as LPE look to pressure, look to end it? Renegade eats damage. The Zalman Force gets committed. James really low, forced to use the Black Dragon form. LPE are managing the waves, but at the same time trying to kill James and Renegade. They're holding on, trying to defend. Can they end it? The minion waves are gone. 1 turret left, 2 turrets left, and LPE have secured the Game 2 win and will be forcing a game number 3. Disrupt the junglers here. He might want to seek out to disrupt the lane wherever his Alice is in. Because if Grok doesn't get that stun onto the wall, he gets like that momentary knockup that an Alice can use to go in, get the stun, and get the combo.
Yeah, and get some good damage in.
Yeah.
Right? You also get a little bit of stun from that Alice, so expect some good synergy between Yaoi as well as James. So we're heading into the game. LPE versus NXP game number 3. Let's head into the fight.
Litho Wanderer gets secured there by NXP. So the Stone Roamer, that new little creep that you see there, that spawns after the Litho Wanderer gets taken down, that actually provides vision. So now the members of LPE are going to be seen for the next 5 seconds because they just stepped in the zone and just broke that Stone Roamer. At this point of the game, though, not a big factor, but we've seen it in the past 2 days that vision provided by the new Stone Roamer creep comes in big.
Yeah, it is. It does do some pretty good stuff, enabling you to plan ahead. Enabling your team to plan ahead and try to go for the right objectives. Like, for example, you see the enemy go for a purple buff, and you can go for the opposite side. And it just opens up so much possibilities especially in this game where you kind of need to rely a lot on those to get ahead. Because the small things are going to make a big impact in this one.
All right. Now, JTT is going to be going up James's Alice in the bottom lane here. Now, what do you think about that matchup?
Now, earlier on, we will expect some good pressure for JTD. But I feel like that's going to fade eventually, right? As you head later on into the game, you're kind of going to see LPE rise up over the opposition. But at the same time, Alice does do that as well, right?
Yeah.
That's why you put Alice on the gold lane. So, I don't know. I feel like there's just 50... That bottom side is 50-50 for me.
It's going to really be up to the rotations again, going back to Yaoi. NXP, a lot of their tempo is going to be set by the rotation of Yaoi here on that Grok, who does not go for the Rafflesia style high and dry, but instead goes for the pull yourself together.
That's the classic Grok.
Classic Grok, yeah, exactly. And now BMO is rocking with the focusing mark, so that just means every kick, every upgraded basic attack kick from that Bruno is going to hurt even more if BMO can land some damage on the target as well.
Yeah, and so far, I feel like Aspect is playing very, very safe in this game. With only Yaoi spotting him out here, and Turtle's already half, could be big.
And let's see who's going to take the first turtle of the game. It's going to go to LPE. Ryota gets to secure the stun there and the kill onto Land C. And NXP, LPE says see you later because James has to get away from here, cannot give up any more kills. But look at Ryota and are still going for the chase and securing it. Now, BMO is playing the Rafaela, not your traditional tank. There are no traditional tanks here in LPE. Ours is rocking a mage build type, Sylvana. Something that you brought up when we were talking off camera like a few days before is that teams will want to look into building more of your magic-based Sylvana.
Yeah, instead of the usual like instant defensive items, because you want to capitalize. And this is the right way to do it. That's exactly the right way you want to build a Sylvana these days. You want to go for the late game build. Magic damage increases your lifesteal, increases your survivability as well.
That's why the concentrated energy is going to be the main first item here being built up by Arvs. And XP, see how they're going to play this out. They have more of a traditional lineup that we know of, while BMO rocking that Rafaela. It's more of what we set up earlier in game number 1 where we were talking about the Indonesian idea of the first strike meta where you don't have your traditional tank here. But that means LPE is in a bit of a timer. Let's see if they're going to be able to make something out of this. That's going to be a big team fight. Deadly Cash has been brought out here by Renegade, but deals a lot of damage to LPE, but LPE are still fighting. They have the sustain, they have the damage. Yeah, we get Ryota coming in,
misses.
Does not land the stun. He gets the third hit onto Renegade with the ultimate bravest fighter, but they're not going to be able to convert. Really, really close call there by both of these two teams, but Renegade could be up next. Blazing Duet has been popped up by Jake the Dog. An early rotation out of lane for him. LPE were not able to convert. That could have been really bad for NXP.
But NXP is able to get out just in time. Now, the ultimate for the bravest fighter, I don't know. I feel like that was just a big misstep. There was no other way to say that. That is a misplay from Ryota. Let's see if he can make it up, though, as we do see LPE converging once more around the turtle area. They really, really want this onto the player like Aspect. Imagine Bruno with a turtle buff at this point. It's going to be very scary.
Yeah, Ryota has 2 kills already and has a bit of a lead over the Alice, so he's going to be more effective in this team fight. Lancey already used that feathered airstrike just for 1 pop. The turtle got reset for a bit, though, as LPE are going to continue with. James is there to try to disrupt to take down the turtle, but that's a killing spree now for Ryota, getting the kill onto H2O. As that happens, at the same time, Yaoi got taken out. What a control play there by LPE for that objective.
And I feel like I just said the words. I said the words came out of my mouth and it happened right on our screens. Bruno, Aspect getting the turtle buff will only make it so much harder for NXP to take out this main carry.
Yep, that's because BMO is there for the holy healing if Aspect will need it. So for the next few minutes, NXP have to watch their feet, where they go, where they step, lest they run into a shrub and Aspect just kicks a ball right into their face.
If that happens, like the minimum amount of hits is like free empowered hits. You go near a bush, that's 1, going away 2, and then a possible third. Now, There's going to be a big fight happening on top side. H2O doing the hard carry as he usually does. Followed with Yaoi with a wild charge, locks down Jake the Dog.
But here comes Ryota. Let's see if he can make up for it again. But the sidestep by Yaoi does not get stunned. So Ryota misses the stun again, but now he's 3-0-0. Steps ahead of James with the Alice. So again, that Lapu-Lapu is still going to be more effective in a team fight if it happens, as Lance is forced to use the wings by wings to fly out there. Reset by both squads.
Yeah, it's a good reset. And NXP finally getting a foothold, at least on the opposite side of the map. Top side is already a lost cause. They said, why don't we go for a bottom push? We got a turtle spawning here soon. Taking out the tower should be big. Provide them some vision, some control on the map.
And now NXP decide to split it up, sacrifice a turret, but LPE is still in the lead with one. Renegade has to be really careful here as Aspect Bimo and Arms.
There you go.
The flicker forward of the Comedic Lance secures the pick off onto Renegade, but LPE will not be able to get that turret. I'm pretty sure they really wanted that, but they're going to be happy with the kill.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get some pressure on top side with NXP converging on mid. Turtle is going to be big. Jake the Dog's already in position, but I don't think they can take it anytime soon. However, again, LPE, they know that they cannot leave this away for long. They start to go for it.
Cometic Lance means that Lancey is forced to use the feathered
airstrike.
airstrike to help him.
Oh no!
Oh no, he's gonna try to save the last hit, but it runs out. But the turtle is somehow miraculously stolen by James. The heist of the game, as LPE cannot even punish. NXP immediately get out of there, but now LPE have their eyes set on the middle of the tower as Lancey gets eaten up by that Divine Justice in the combination from Ryota. James is gonna go in with a flowing blood, trying to stop the minion waves and deal damage there, but he gets stunned. H2O eats up a lot of damage. He's forced to go back. LPE deal a lot of damage to Yaoi, but are not going to be able to push enough into the turret. But good punish there by LPE. Good trade, I mean. The fact that they lost that turtle by a beautiful steal by James Z. Of course, what are you going to do next? Get that turret.
Get that turret and enable the rest of your team to go for a bit of a disengage. You basically did your job there. And again, that was beautifully done there. Now the big thing. This is what we need to talk about. They're denying the turtle buff very well.
Yeah.
Right? Great job for NXP, but is that enough to stop Aspect at this point? I feel like his Bruno has scaled off so much. This Bruno is just so safe in the big team fights that the Bruno is getting so much gold.
Yeah, and Bruno is one of those heroes that snowballs really, really fast. And it's a big deal, the fact that he gets the first turtle of the game. Coach Panda is actually one of those coaches who believes that if you get the first turtle, more often than not, you will win the game.
You got some good tempo.
Yeah,
you get good tempo.
Good tempo, and the tempo was stopped a bit by that steal from James.
It's just good job, by the way. I was surprised. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't... I still can't, like, I'm playing it back in my head. I still don't know how exactly it happened.
I know.
It just did.
It's something that shouldn't happen, but somehow LPE, again, minor mistake. They don't.
Yeah.
I don't think James didn't even have retributions. I don't know. Big fight here.
Remember, this is a double marksman lineup, and with that, even though they were threatened by the feathered airstrike, they had the basic attack damage to just burn down that turret. Now, NX, we have to be really careful here. They have great damage, they have great burst, but Renegade has not had a good time. He was completely pressured by LPE. It's going to take some time for his Deadly Catch and Rum to absolutely burn down the members of LPE.
Yeah, because right now the scaling is still it's not that good yet for Renegade. He's 0-2-1. 4.8k gold lead. He's still one of the most richest players on the team, but not by much.
Yeah, and now someone gets bursted down. That is going to be Arvs with that Sylvana getting taken out there. The Lord spawns, but Ryota is pressuring the bottom lane. Watch out for that on your map as a fight happens here. Close to the top side as NXP want to go for that turret. LPE, let's see.
Yeah.
No one develops from that. Not much happens. No big trades. Both teams are just trying to feel out one another how they're going to move this and how they're going to handle this.
Yeah, because right now LPE needs to be calm and collected. They know they're in the lead. They can feel it. They don't see the numbers, but they can feel it, right? But so far, I think Yaoi wants to go and do something.
And he did something, opened up that pickoff. Aspect is the one who gets taken out, but they still have Jake the Dog. The marksman is still there to deal damage. Let's see if he's going to go in with a Blazing Duet or if he'll try to fight and basic attack someone down. H2O gets focused down by Arves and gets a kill there onto H2O. Both carries are down for both teams, but again, double carry here for LPE, and Renegade felt that. Yaoi might be feeling that next. Lancey just got taken out. Yaoi just got taken out.
My
And
God.
a double kill for the Lapu Lapu. Ryota is now 5-0-1.
He was listening to us earlier. He said, "All right, you guys want me to make up for that big misplay? Here you go."
Yeah.
So, as we did see, the engagement here from Arves was huge. He basically neutered H2O in that engagement with the Kinetic Lance, with a Spiral Strangling Spell Vamp. And after that, it was just a very easy cleanup for the rest of the team.
That was a beautiful setup though by Yaoi and the rest of NXP. Renegade using the deadly catch for the burst. Any other team probably would have decided to call that off and back off, which would have really risked LPE getting chased down by NXP. But LPE remembered that Jake the Dog is here. I think we got to catch out H2O, and they did. Just a great play there. Good thing you highlighted Arves. I feel like he really kept that alive.
Yeah, I mean, BMO can play Sylvana, Arves can play Sylvana. You got two big Sylvana players on this team. Apparently, Arves can do it pretty darn well as well.
BMI forced to go back here is Jake the Dog, but he has the information that the members of NXP are just base locked right now. They're in quarantine. They cannot go out of home as the Lord marches in the bottom lane. This could be big rock hard.
Lord says, "We got a curfew, boys. Get back in your bunk." And we'll see if they can push, though. It's going to be difficult for them to push because of the wave clear that's present in NXP. And, of course, the Guardian Barrier is just massive, but let's see.
Feathered Airstrike committed. Blazing Duet does not land on enough members of NXP as that deadly catch is deadly for LPE. Takes out JTD and Arves, but Renegade gets taken out there on NXP's side. LPE still has the marksman to push down a turret. So despite a really well-handled team fight by NXP, LPE still walk away with an inhibitor turret break.
Yeah, and again, that's all you want for that push. I didn't even expect them to go and take the inhibitor turret, but they do, which is a great, at the expense of Arves and Jake the Dog, but still, mission accomplished in terms of pushing. Now, NXP, they got a small opening here with Jake the Dog just fresh off of the respawns. Can they do anything about it?
Ryota though, gets knocked up, eats up the wild charge right away. NXP could have gotten a pick off there, but Ryota was able to dash out. Now, you mentioned something that is a strength of this NXP lineup.
Here we go.
I thought that's going to be a Cometic Lance stun onto Lance C. Gets lanced in the face by the Cometic Lance. How many times can I say Lance as LPE marches down the mid lane? They smell blood. They look to end this. It's a 5 versus 4. They have a double marksman, but they're waiting for the minion waves. Can NXP clear it off? They have really good minion waves. Deadly catch just to destroy the minion wave, so LPE cannot get overexcited here. They can't end the game just yet because of the strength I was talking about. I was about to ask you that NXP has. They have really good wave clear.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said it before the big Lord fight earlier, and we are going to say it again. That is great wave clear on the side of NXP. You also have an Alice with a Winter Truncheon that can go really, really deep in the enemy territory. And LPE needs to get creative here, because this is not going to be an easy push.
Yeah, NXP have the right tools to handle the waves. They can drag this out, but do they actually have a lineup for a really good late game?
They probably do. They can probably, keep up. But you have to remember, Roger's not that great in late game. Roger's usually early to mid game very, very good with the Lycan Pounce, but after the Pounce, usually very vulnerable, unless you have some good items.
Orange buff getting contested here by LPE. They decide to back off as all the members of NXP are there. Just ensure that H2O has it now. H2O on a hero that you just mentioned does not scale well into the late game, and we've barely felt H2O in this game. So far, we've seen more of Renegade and Lancey, but NXP just really couldn't get the ball rolling for their main jungler carry. While LPE have stuck to the strengths of their lineup really, really well.
Yeah, and again, unless I was talking about the Roger, that's unless you get some good items, right? That's the borderline. You can go into the late game, just make sure you're items ahead of your opposition carry, which is not the case here. So they're gonna have to really max the wave clear out. Drag this on to maybe 24 minutes so they can get into even footing. Because right now, LPE is starting off on the Lord.
Now, deadly cash is going to be available for this baiting. Could be big for NXP to zone out the members of LPE and burst them down to get this Lord. But LPE decide to reset it. They say it's a little bit too risky, but there's a playing around it. Aspect focusing on the Lord. Good zone out here by Arvs, Bimo, and Jake the Dog. The members of NXP can't get close. Guardian's barrier means that Yaoi and the rest of NXP have to take the long way around. But now Yaoi's there in the back. Yaoi's there to disrupt. But the members of NXP have fallen down. The tank has left them. And that's Renegade, H2O, Lancy bursted down. A triple kill there by Aspect. Yaoi could be up next. Make it a maniac!
By, oh my gosh, LPE and Aspect is what we were talking about, man. One wrong move, if you get into a bad bush with Aspect, with a Bruno there, you will suffer, and suffer they did. I cannot believe how strong Aspect is right now.
That is it. That means most likely it is game. James, though, just trying to manage the minion wave, but James almost taking that arms. Godlike for Aspect. An unofficial 5-man kill there by him, but James actually saved the game.
He saved it! He saved the game!
One hit!
Oh! That is brutal. This is just how you do it, LPE, man. They're scraping in. They're holding on for dear life. And again, it will be an uphill climb, but Yaoi does have some info. He knows the Lord is happening here with Jake Dog on the chase. Wild charge out of there. But the Lord should be an easy take for LPE.
Okay, now LPE is probably thinking, okay, we'll run that again, but this time we'll try to break it. But that's Yaoi is really, really low. They're committing skills, but they're waiting for that Lord to push through. Yaoi's just buying time. He might be going down here. The longer he stands, the higher the chance, though, that he's going to miss out for the Lord to come out. Maybe by the time it gets to base, Yaoi's just about to come back, but the Lord's taking his sweet time.
The Lord is taking his sweet time, and that's just what happened in the late game. Now, Jake the Dog has some pretty good amount of damage right now on that claw. It's very, very scary. It could be bad here for NXP. Again, without the Guardian Barrier to hold that mid lane, imagine this should be an easy entry here for LPE.
9 seconds until Yaoi comes back. NXP are going to try to hold on as long as they can. They have the wave clear. They have the burst damage. So Jake the Dog takes a lot, but that's going to be suppressed onto Renegade. As Renegade is about to fall down, he goes down.
Lord,
going to be Bane goes down, and they're going to be focusing on the base. LPE wins the series by winning Game 3. Welcome to the MPL.